Hi guys, welcome back to What's on My Plate. So for tonight, I'm making a crispy, moist, fried chicken thigh. It's going to be delicious and you're going to love it. So let's get started. Okay, so to get started with my crispy fried chicken thighs, we are going to add them into a large Ziploc. So this is about 6 to 8 thighs. And these thighs are not that big. Usually they're like pretty big, but so this is about 6 to 8 in the bag. So what you need to do is, if you have any pickle juice left over, this is a perfect brine for your chicken. So you need to brine these thighs for an hour or longer. And that's the first step for the best chicken thigh, because the brine is gonna make it so tender and delicious. So I have extra pickle juice, so don't throw out your pickle juice. Leave it in your fridge, and when you have enough, just get yourself some chicken and use the pickle juice as a brine. If you don't want to use it as a brine, use it as a dressing. I have great dressings with pickle juice. I will put them up. So basically, I have here this is about a cup or so. You just need to cover the thighs. So we're just going to take the pickle juice and pour it right over. Okay? All over. As you can see, that's a good amount of pickle juice. You just need to be able to cover the chicken. So about a cup and a half, and then squeeze out the air without spilling any of the juice. And then just Ziploc it and put these in the fridge an hour or longer. And that's it. So the chicken's gonna be brined in this pickle juice. And that's how we're gonna start. And then when it's, after this is done sitting in the fridge for an hour or longer, we're just gonna take it out, pat the chicken dry, and then we're gonna start breading it. And we're gonna put it in buttermilk and flour, and it's gonna be so crispy, you're gonna be loving it. So this goes in the fridge, and then we'll get to the other steps after this sits for a while. Okay, so my chicken thighs have been in the brine of the pickle juice for at least 3 hours. You just do it for 1 hour to about 5 hours. Don't really do it any longer because then it changes the texture of the chicken, and we don't want that. So I'm going to remove the chicken from the brine. I'm going to drain it, and then I'm going to pat it dry. That is the next step. Okay, so I drained my chicken thighs. Now I'm going to lay them on a tray, and I'm going to pat them dry. And then we're going to season them and do the other steps. Okay, so now that I drained the pickle juice out of the chicken here, I'm going to pat them dry. Okay. I'll just pat them dry. And then we're going to place them on a plate, and we're going to salt and pepper them. So I'm going to go ahead and add them here to my plate. Okay. And just sprinkle salt and pepper all over both sides. Just a sprinkle. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it and do the other side. And then we're going to dip these in buttermilk. And we're going to dip them in flour. And then we're going to start frying them. That's how quick it is. And it's going to be, I'm going to put this on a bun, and it's going to be delicious with some buttered pickles and a slice of tomato. Okay, so now this is all ready to be dipped in the buttermilk, so that's what I'm going to do next. Okay, so I'm going to place my chicken here aside, and in one bowl I'm going to pour buttermilk. So this is light buttermilk. You don't have to use light. I got it because it was cheaper than the other one. So just pour some buttermilk in a bowl. So it's about a cup, however much you need to dip all your chicken. So if you're doing 4 pieces of chicken, about 3/4 cups of buttermilk is more than fine. So this is about a cup and a half of buttermilk. And then we need, so I'm going to set this aside. And then this one here is going to be our flour. So you need 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Okay. And then we're going to need baking powder. So we need 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. So it's 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Then we're going to need 1 teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of salt. Then we're going to need 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And we're going to need paprika. So that is 1 teaspoon of paprika, and that's it. So now blend it all up together. Okay. Okay, now it's time to start dipping our chicken in the buttermilk and then in the flour, and then we're going to set the chicken aside and we're going to start frying it. Okay, so that's the next step. So let me just move this here like that. Okay, so I'm going to get a fork out here. Okay, so just take your chicken, dip it in the buttermilk, just like that. Okay, let it drip off. And then dip it right into the flour and push down. So let me see if you can see me doing this. So then just push it down. Okay. And then flip it. And then push it down again. Okay. Just like that. And then set this aside. And then we'll do another one. I'm just going to use my hands. So chicken in buttermilk, flip it. Okay. Let it drip. And place it in your bowl. And push it down. Okay, flip it. And push it down again. Okay, and then you can shake a little bit of the excess off, just a little, and then here's your other piece of chicken. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing all of these, same thing. And the thing is, when we marinated it for a few hours in the pickle juice, it tenderized it, and it's going to be so tender and juicy. It is going to be amazing. And it's just very simple. Very simple. Just dip, push down, okay? And then flip it and do the other side. Like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest. And then when I'm done, I will show you. Okay, so here is my chicken all breaded And now we're going to start frying it. Okay, so in a Dutch oven or a deep pot, go ahead and put enough oil so you can fry the chicken thighs. So in here I put vegetable oil and I put olive oil. I just like to mix the two. So I'm just letting it heat up and then I'm going to start frying. Okay, so my oil has heated up and now I'm going to start placing my chicken in, and I'm just going to do 2 pieces at a time. And the reason why I'm using a Dutch oven, or I said a cast iron, is because it, so I'm going to add my second piece in here. Okay, and what I was saying, was that I'm using a Dutch oven because it holds the heat. So we need to get this oil hot and we need to keep it hot. So we are sure that the chicken is cooked through. So it's approximately 3 to 4 minutes a side. So once it starts browning, I'm going to start flipping it over and I'm going to do the other side for around 3 to 4 minutes. So you just need to cook it till it's done. And if you're unsure, just once you remove the piece, just cut it to ensure that it's cooked through. So it's just a few minutes. So this is a smaller pot, and I can only do 2 pieces at a time. Otherwise, it's very quick. So I'm just going to time it. And then when this is ready to be flipped, I'll show you. Okay, so now my chicken needs to be flipped. It's already browning all over. And these pieces weren't that big. So just carefully flip. Okay, so then again on this side for approximately 3 to 4 minutes until it's cooked. And I'm going to continue doing all of them like this. And when they're done, I will show you. Okay, so now it is time to remove my chicken. Okay, let the oil drip off and then place it on a wired rack and then continue cooking the rest of your chicken. This chicken is going to be tender and crispy and delicious. Okay, I'm almost done with the last batch. So because there's so many pieces of chicken and I'm using the same oil, the oil is so hot, so they start getting a little bit more darker. But if you're not cooking, 6 to 8, they're going to be a lighter color, and it's fine. They're going to be crispy and delicious. So I'm going to get this plated and I will show you. Okay, now is the time to put this crispy chicken sandwich together. So I have myself a large hamburger bun. It's not the little ones, it's like the big one. So I'm not toasting it. I'm using it just like that. Then you need some buttered pickles. Butter pickles, yum. So we're gonna layer them on the bottom. So I'm just gonna go ahead and layer these pickles. Okay, just right on the bottom. It's gonna be so good. Okay, then our piece of chicken goes right on top. Go ahead and add my chicken. There it is. Going to add chipotle aioli. You can put whatever you want on it. This is really good. So I'm just going to add it on the top bun and a little bit on the chicken. Okay. And then I'm going to add, a tomato. Then I'm just going to add a tomato right on top. And my sandwich, my chicken sandwiches. Done. Just gonna add it right on there, and here it is. You are gonna love this. You have to try it. I've been making this for a while now, and everyone loves it. Look how good that is. Okay, so I'm gonna cut it in half so you can see. You can hear the crunch too. Okay. And that is my crispy chicken thighs. Look how good. Delicious. You're gonna love it, and I thank you so much for watching what's on my plate, and don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. Enjoy. Thank you.